What up, y'all? Boo boo patooties. Hope everybody's doing well. We're here for our weekly romance, oracle, and tarot reading. Let's see what we've got. Uh-oh. Pay attention to red flags. Yeah, it is Mercury retrograde, Venus retrograde. We are in the throes of eclipse season. So, buyer beware right now. There's no telling what is hidden beneath the blistering surface. And, all of the, exes and past is just going to come up and be right in your face during all of this. I've also noticed that anytime there is like a holy holiday, anytime there's like a fast or a time of restriction, those same sort of themes pop up, old temptations and things. So be careful, buyer beware, have a healthy dose of skepticism right now. And if you can smell the smoke in the air, be assured there's probably fire. All right. Like that old leopard hasn't changed their spots. Like, think about it. If we are trying to do better and change, and it takes years and constant effort, then the people who don't really care that much haven't changed. They can put on an act and a temporary, hey, a little facade, but it's not going to last long. It's not going to outlast the dopamine, which is about 6 months. So anything that you start now, you will more than likely regret a few weeks from now. So just put it on ice, think about things, get busy doing something else. Don't get invested in anyone right this minute. Just ride out the storm, watch what happens at the end of eclipse season. And even then, there are people who will linger in your life for years and years and years, just waiting for your willpower to wane in difficult times. So trust the red flags that are waving in your face. Don't trust the person standing behind the red flag. Oh, this could be the one. So take heed of the red flags, because you could be, right before the real thing enters your life, whether it be a great opportunity or a great relationship, usually a test will come to see if you will fall back into your old responses, your old reactivity, your old behavior, your old temptations, your old patterns. This is testing your growth and your self-worth. So the universe tests you with some bait to see if you're going to settle for less than what you deserve, or if you've truly learned from the past and you're ready for something new. You're ready to move forward. So be when you see the red flags, keep telling yourself, okay, the one could be close by. And every time I fall back into those old behaviors, I delay the one from coming in. So if you're tired of waiting, then just be patient and don't do anything hasty. Don't fall back into red flag zone, okay? Flag on the play. You've already met the romantic partner that you seek. So again, even if you haven't met this person, they're coming into your energy field and your soul knows them. Your soul has met them before. Now, in order to shift your consciousness, in order to draw this person in, you need to behave and act as though this person has already come into your life, that it's a done deal, they're already here. The person that belongs with you belongs with you. And so if you find that you meet someone and you're getting neurotic and you're having to pull cards to see is this the right person? I don't know. And you're asking all your friends what they think, then more than likely, this is the red flag. That's all you need to know. Whenever I've met people who are all in and they're all about me, I usually don't have to pull any cards about it. I don't have to get anybody's advice. It just flows naturally. and everything is going in a good and positive direction, and I'm not left feeling like confused or unclear about anything. It is very clear. So be in the state of wholeness as if the person for you is already yours, is already a done deal, and now you just have to like wait for them to get there and for you to identify them. But it's already a done deal, right? Even if you don't know them yet, your soul knows them and your soul is calling them in. If you are busy occupying your energy and your space with red flags, then that is going to delay the real one from landing. So just think of yourself as being a gate at the airport, right? The plane needs somewhere to land, but it can't land. It's got to circle the runway until the other plane is out of the way. So we'll pull some tarot cards to get more clarity on those. Okay, I thought that. What was that? Ooh, make the effort. So great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. So don't fall into your comfort zone. You know, if you feel like a prompting to go somewhere or start a new thing, make the effort. If someone is showing interest and you're kind of interested too, don't completely like play it cool and not give them the indication that they should make the effort, right? Make some effort. If you are on the female end, this is a very like delicate balance, right? If you're on the masculine end of the relationship or the pursuit, then you need to be making a lot of effort, right? Particularly if you're a male. Now, if you're a lesbian and you're the more masculine, I think that there's a more nuanced balance in the energy, because women also want to receive as well, even if they consider themselves the more masculine of the pair. So that's a finer balance, but I'm not a queer person, so I can't get into the nitty-gritty of that for you. But I can tell you based on, you know, chaser, runner, receiver, giver, that, you know, if you're all giving to someone all the time and you're not pulling back any, then that's not really creating the attraction that you need. Now, if you're in a typical male-female dynamic, like females want the men to make a grand effort. They want them to show their interest. Now, as a female, you want to give the male just enough interest so that they know that you're interested and it entices them to continue to chase, but you don't want to be too open or available. Not right away, but you don't want to be too closed off or cold either, right? Men appreciate a challenge and they value what they make an effort toward. They value what they invest in, that like their effort, their time, their attention. When they put effort, time, and attention into something, they value it more. When something comes easy, they take it for granted and they don't appreciate it. So they don't want you to be overly available. Yes, they are acting like they want you to be overly available, but in the end, if you are, then they're disappointed and it ruins the excitement for them. They like a hunt. They like to be pushed out of their comfort zone. They like to grow beyond themselves. So it's up to us, the feminine, the supernal feminine, to practice restriction, set boundary, like make the space. So making an effort sometimes as a feminine means having self-discipline and self-control, not to be all in 100%. Like, okay, last night, I'm a server. I work at a restaurant, and the place that I work is like a very popular dinner place. Date place. And so I was waiting on a table, and I'm a very keen observer of human behavior, and I watch people like anthropological studies like every night. I always have, like whether I was in film production, whether I've worked in restaurants, I pay attention to human behavior and patterns and what's going on. So I'm waiting on this table, and it's two very passive people sitting there together, a guy and a girl, and the girl is making all the effort, and it seems like maybe the first or second date. This is a very early date. I'm listening to the conversation they're having. This is the kind of get to know you conversation. So she's like super keen, super available, super bubbly. She's driving the whole conversation. Meanwhile, this shit in the pants is just kind of like this passive nerd. I can barely hear him when he speaks. He's sitting there, closed off body language. He's just like sitting, like he's just allowing the thing to happen. He's just sitting there receiving in his feminine. I can't remember, but early in the conversation and early in the process, like even before they've ordered, I think that I picked up that she's buying dinner, which I'm already like, if you're gonna take me out on a date, you better be ready to pick up the check, because it's not a date and you're not offering me anything at that point to impress me or to show me that you're capable of providing any kind of enjoyment or life for me if you're making me pay on a date in the early stages. Now, this is different if you're like in an established relationship after a while and you take some turns. I'm not one to want to take from anyone or take advantage from anyone, but in nature, the male is trying to impress the female. Right? This isn't like, survival after you've been together for a long time and whatever. But, and even still in many cases, like men like to provide, they like to take the women on a date. So if you're going to take me on a date early on and I'm paying, like, and you're expecting me to pay, I'm not impressed. There's not going to be another date. So early on, I pick up in the conversation that I think she's paying. She does not order a cocktail. And he does. He orders a cocktail and follows up with like a beer or two. And then like he orders like a full on entree, and like she gets a couple of appetizers, and like, I don't know, you can tell that like she doesn't have a huge budget. I don't know. It was just a very uncomfortable situation. Meanwhile, like he's barely adding to the conversation. He's just like a whatever. It's like so boring. She's trying to be exciting. It's basically like she's auditioning for this guy who has nothing going on for himself. And then all throughout the dinner, he's texting somebody else. So I'm just like, oh my God, oh my God. So then when it comes time to drop the check, I put it sort of closer to him. She already has her card out and she's ready before the check even gets there, and she puts her card down. This woman is making too much effort. Too much effort. As they were leaving, we're all back in the past polishing, and we're like, we hate him. Dump him. He's awful. You do better. Like hoping it subliminally like catches her soul on some level. That is the wrong way to make the effort, right? As a woman, you want to make the effort by making it exciting, giving them a little chase, like making the effort by putting yourself together well, right? Being a great fun date, but also like letting them, ask you questions and letting them show you who they actually are. I can guarantee you that this guy is going to be on the phone through every dinner they ever have. He's going to be the type that's just sitting and playing Nintendo and letting her do everything in the house and like running their entire life. So that is not a recipe for attraction or sustainability in a relationship. And both people are going to be very unhappy, because what's going to happen is that she's going to be the mother of her troubled teenage son. And that is not a sexy dynamic. Nobody is having great sex in the situation. So make the effort, but get really intelligent about what that means in the attraction dynamic, right? What does that mean for building chemistry? My mom is like calling me and texting me because, I called her earlier. She sent me to voicemail, and now she's like, are you okay? I'm just calling you back. She's calling me. She's texting me. My God. Okay, let's see how many times that happens while we're doing this. Very soon. Very soon. This could be happening very soon. So make the effort in not settling for less than what you deserve. Pay attention to the red flags. And keep in mind that this could be happening very soon. So clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. Ladies especially, clearly decide what you value in a partner, what you value in a man, and do not project that on someone because you're attracted to them. Let them show you who they are. Make no assumptions, put no projection on them. You'll find someone a lot sooner if you're clear about what you're looking for and you don't delude yourself. Every woman I've ever known, I haven't met one who hasn't sat with me for years, deluding themselves and projecting, including me at times, projecting what they want to believe about a man that it just never was true in the first place. We try to believe the best in them and give them a chance, and it never turns out well. Really great men who are going to be compatible with you, who want you and who want the same things, are very obvious when you meet them. And if it's not obvious, then he ain't it, okay? So very soon, don't fuck yourself over by settling for less, for settling with some guy who's gonna keep you tied up for 6 months. Don't do it. In fact, entertain multiple options if there are multiple options. You don't have to be sleeping with them. I'm not for promiscuity, but you can hang out and go on dates with people and get to know them. And if you have other options and people that you're kind of spreading your attention out to, then you're putting less projection on the one that you think is like the best option, right? Then they reveal themselves who's actually the best option. So six of swords. We are getting past old patterns. We're getting past the pain of the past. We're getting over old breakups. So when we see these similar things happening again, similar people showing up, similar dynamics, similar availability or unavailability, we need to remember that we're very close to actually having been healed. And so we don't want to put ourselves back in the meat grinder again, right? This is not to say close yourself off and don't open up, but when you see that there is a similar vibe going on, don't tell yourself otherwise, believe it. Maya Angelou said, when people show you who they are, believe them. So if they have values that are counter to yours, that's not going to work in the long run. If they have some thing that bothers you right away, it's only going to bother you worse when the initial attraction wears off. So pay attention to those things and honor your healing and protect yourself and respect yourself so that you can preserve your healed vessel and your regulated nervous system and your healed attachment style for the good man that comes along or the good woman that comes along who really deserves it. So don't cast your pearls before swine. You're healing and you have been healed so much, and so good things are coming. So hold out for who's really worthy of you. And you have to allow them to earn it and prove it. Even the best dude, right? You might meet the best guy in the world and you're like, oh my God, he's a dream. He's the picture perfect man. He ticks off all the boxes. And then you're tempted to rush in and like move in and do all those things. And let me tell you, even the best guy, if you rush in and don't space things out and you go too fast, it's gonna implode. You have to take your time. You have to create a solid foundation and allow yourself the proper emotional and chemical bonding that takes time. And if you rush in, every man is going to suddenly hit a wall and be like, whoa, even though they're the ones pushing it and wanting to go fast, they're going to be like, yes, come over to my house all weekend, drop your plans, like let's be together day and night, let's do this. Suddenly they're going to be like, and it's going to be all their idea. And they wanted it. They told me to. This is what you wanted. Doesn't matter. Men don't have any self-control. You're the one that has to be the one in self-control. So you have to practice the restriction and you have to say, we need to slow down. I have to stick with my routine. I have to keep working out. I have to keep, my life too. And so you integrate them slowly. What happens when you go fast, even if they wanted to, they suddenly panic and they're like, whoa, I haven't thought things through, because they're just caught up in the intoxication of it all. They're high on the drugs of love and sex and romance. So once they're suddenly have like a clear head, they're like, whoa, oh my God, my life has just been, I've fallen off the rails. Like, I just need to slow down. And that's when they pull back and you're like, whoa, what happened? did I do something wrong? Are you upset with me? Are you mad? Then it becomes clingy central, right? And oh my gosh, I'm insecure now. And now I'm questioning. And then that's when the attraction hits like a screeching halt, because now you're anxious and needy, and he is like wanting space. And then it's like, oh my gosh, the whole dynamic is thrown off after that. So slow and steady wins the race. This could be the one. Trust. The Fool, this is a new start, a new cycle. The Fool means new beginnings, new major chapters beginning in your life. So the next one that you meet may not be it, but that person could be coming soon. So when you are evaluating your options, you need to be shrewd. You need to be realistic. And you need to be honest, the more honest than you've ever been with yourself, and in a timely way, be real about what you're looking for, right? If you want marriage and kids, then talk about that early on. You don't have to say, I want this with you. I'm just saying you have to be like, well, this is what I want. This is what I'm excited about. This is what I'm looking for. Like, this is the kind of thing that I'm into. And there are guys that want marriage and children, and they are just as frustrated thinking that women don't want that anymore either. So without projecting that onto them specifically, you can speak truth about what you want. And you know what? Even the worst BS bastards in the world, if you tell them early on what you're really looking for, they usually tell you the truth. They're usually going to say, I'm not looking for anything serious, or they're going to give you the hints and the indication because they don't want to feel like a dick. I have had a couple of people in my life who pretended and who were just outright liars. But for the most part, men will let you know, but it's us that are deluding ourselves and hoping that once they get to know you, they'll change their mind, or they're just scared, or they don't know how to open up, or they're afraid of how much they are into me. It's like, no, just don't. They will be honest with who they are. Be honest with who you are and what you're looking for. Don't do this passive aggressive, maybe maybe I can change him thing. Maybe I can change his mind. Don't do that. Now, circling back to the make the effort card. Guys, if she is not responding to you at all and never gives you any indication that she's romantically interested, and at best you might get an occasional polite response, take the hint. Because I have had people who send me messages that are like, I think about you every day, and I never answer them, and I'm not saying anything back, and it's like they continue to keep sending me these messages. So that is not attractive. That is a red flag. That tells me, okay, you're objectifying me, you have a fantasy about me, you don't know the real me, you either have no self-esteem and you will settle for someone who walks all over you and treats you like crap. There's so many red flags about that. So when a girl's playing hard to get, she's not going to be completely cold and standoffish. She's not going to have that level of willpower. We're going to show you some indication that we like you, or that we think you're good looking, or that we're interested in you in some way. But like a totally like platonic, polite response that comes once in a blue moon is not your indication to keep on keeping on. At that point, you start to almost freak someone out, and they start locking their deadbolt and checking it 20 times because they think that someone's going to start stalking them. Okay, so this could be the one, new beginning starting. All right, so let's see, make the effort. All right, we have the Tower card, rebuilding. So like false senses of security are crashing down. I think we're just getting into Aries season. So we're just getting out of that Pisces season that was really helping us purge the past and get rid of old emotional baggage. And we're really letting go of all those false securities that we built. All those projections that we've been talking about. This is just reinforcing that. The Tower card is about things that aren't sustainable crashing down. Illusions being broken and seeing through the illusions. Systems based on lies, relationships based on lies, codependency, having incompatibility, unsustainable attachment styles that don't gel, right? We are not going to do that again. Enmeshment, it's not sustainable. People who love bomb you, it's not real. It's not going to be sustainable. It's a form of manipulation. So we are making the effort in a healthy way by doing things like we were saying about taking things slow, letting people earn your trust gradually as they show you that they're trustworthy, as they show their consistency, their diligence, their responsibility. You are not rushing in. You're not rushing in to have sex, because then you're bonding like too soon, and the guy will categorize you as just a good time, and they'll be too happy to oblige you, and you're gonna think, oh, they keep coming back, they must really like me. No, they're having fun having sex with someone who's allowing them to have sex with them. Women have to keep men at bay until the man has had an emotional attachment and is emotionally bonded to you and has communicated that they want a relationship with you. Otherwise, you run the risk of blowing it. Yes, once in a blue moon, you hear the story of the people that, got together and they hooked up the first night, then they got married and it went happily ever after forever. That's not the rule. That's the exception to the rule. So we're doing things sustainably. We're making the effort by actually practicing self-discipline and restriction. So even though we want to, we've got to say no to ourselves, and we've got to say no to them. And you know what? They love to hear no. That is exciting to a man, to hear no. They're like, great. She is the kind of person who's not just going to go along with whatever. She has a backbone. She can set boundaries. When you're overly nice and overly accommodating, even if that doesn't mean you're overly nice to sleep with someone, but say, for instance, you're the person that always gets cornered in some like endless conversation by some boob, and you can't walk away and say no. And then somebody needs your help, and then somebody's doing this and that, and it's like you're always saying yes. Like that, a man won't trust that, and a woman won't trust that either, because Mr. and Miss Nice Guy aren't trustworthy. They don't have the backbone to say no. And so then you're like, okay, well, what are you going, like, where are your boundaries? What can I trust you or not trust you to get yourself into by accident, right? And being attractive, and having a backbone and having the confidence to say no and set boundaries is extremely attractive. Having the ability to walk away and say, you know what? I can cut and leave anytime. I have the ability to walk away from you because you don't complete me. I complete me. God completes me. Jesus completes me. But you don't. And so I love that you enhance my life, but the moment you're not enhancing it anymore, you have no place with me, right? So we need that ability to walk away. That takes effort. It takes so much effort to actually be a person of high value and a catch. So make the effort, put the effort into yourself, put the effort into adding value to you. Work out, be healthy, learn how to cook, learn how to take care of your house, learn how to dress yourself and put yourself together well. Read books, be interesting, be fun, learn new hobbies, right? Feeling alone. So I love that this came out with very soon. So you might be feeling isolated and lonely, and you might be really tempted to just throw in the towel and settle for a warm body, or settle for, an illusion of someone who's unavailable, just so that you have something going on and you feel like you have something to look forward to. But again, if there's a plane at the gate, there's nowhere for the real plane to land. So you have to keep your gate open. Wide open spaces. So don't get weak, feel lonely, and then call up somebody in the middle of a Mercury Venus retrograde, in the middle of eclipse season. It will be regrettable at best. So you might be feeling lonely, but take heart and feel encouraged that very soon the right one could just come into your life. So keep holding on to that, believing it. Be certain that there is a perfect person for you out there, and that there are probably many perfect people for you out there. But like a light bulb on the front porch, you're going to attract everything that's attracted to that light bulb. There are going to be moths and praying mantises and Luna moths and those June bugs and beetles and probably some hornets. Maybe a bird starts to nest behind the light. Like, you as a light are going to attract everything. It is going to be up to you to be discerning, to swat away and decide what you let in. All right? So don't let your loneliness get the best of you. Don't go shopping while you're hungry, right? Stay fulfilled with things that keep your love tank full, and know how to keep your love tank full so that you never have that smell of desperation, right? You're whole, you're good, you're fine on your own. You can take a relationship or leave it, right? I have learned to be very satisfied in my own company as a single person, right? I can be just as lonely in a crowd of people or in a relationship that's the wrong relationship than I can being just alone in my home a lot of the times. In fact, I'm kind of rarely lonely. It happens sometimes, but I like my own company, and I have plenty of, things that keep me interested and busy and, fulfilled and interested and engaged with life. Every now and then I have to fight depression, just like we all do. And I have to fight the malaise and the exhaustion of, the race that is the survival of the fittest in this world, just like anybody else. And it would be nice to have a partner in my life to make things warmer and easier and more exciting. But if it's the wrong person and you're not prepared, like if you haven't done the healing and you're not prepared for that partner, and you have someone in your life that comes in that hasn't done the healing and they're not prepared for you and the timing's not right, even the best person in the world can make your life a living hell. So the readiness has to be there on both sides, and the timing has to be right. And when it's right, when it's good, right? But if it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. So hold out, be strong. It's closer than you think. All right, you guys, all my love to you. Do your best out there. We're in it to win it. We're in this together. All right. And I hope you find the right one, like right now. But if not, hold out for the good one. All right. Talk to y'all tomorrow. Ciao.